Washington. Thomas Barrack Jr., a billionaire who is one of U.S. President Donald Trump's oldest friends, had spent weeks trying to smooth the way for a May presidential meeting in Saudi Arabia with Gulf leaders. All initially went well. Trump praised Qatar, where Barrack, who is Arab-American, has deep business ties, as a crucial strategic partner. Then Trump reversed course a few weeks later and attacked Qatar as a funder of terrorism at a very high level. Barrack was taken aback that the president was intervening in a regional dispute. So he did what few others in Trump's orbit have done. He told the president, in effect, that he was wrong. "You don't need to get involved," Barrack said he told Trump. The president heeded his friend's advice, met with the emir of Qatar and in September offered to mediate. Few people are closer to Trump than Barrack, his friend for 3 decades. Barrack helped rescue Trump's real estate empire years ago. He was the top fundraiser for Trump's 2016 presidential campaign. He turned down a cabinet offer, preferring to be an outside advisor, although his name is still mentioned as a potential White House chief of staff should Trump decide to choose a new one. Above all, Barrack has remained unfailingly loyal to Trump, who he sees as a shrewd politician. But even as he remained a close friend and frequent confidant, Barrack has also been disappointed by aspects of Trump's performance. Barrack, in interviews with The Washington Post, said he has been shocked and stunned by some of the president's rhetoric and inflammatory tweets. He disagrees with some of Trump's proposals, including his efforts to ban immigrants from certain Muslim countries and his push for a border wall with Mexico. He wonders why his longtime friend spends so much of his time appealing to the fringes of American politics. He thinks he has to be loyal to his base, Barrack said. "I keep on saying, but who is your base? You don't have a natural base. Your base now is the world and America, so you have all these constituencies. Show them who you really are. In my opinion, HES better than this." U.S. President Donald Trump speaks about tax reform during an event at the Harrisburg International Airport on Wednesday in Middletown, Pennsylvania. Photo app. "I tell him all the time, I don't like the rhetoric," Barrack, who runs a large real estate investment company, said at his Manhattan office. Trump's relationship with Barrack is one of the most important, if little understood, of the president's life, offering a case study of what it takes to remain close to him in a time of such turmoil. President Donald Trump suffers by having too many yes-men around him, his best friend Thomas J. Barrack Jr. has told The Washington Post. Photo app. "The men have struck a mutually beneficial deal." Trump solicits Barrack's advice regularly, asking how his actions are playing with the public. Barrack listens deferentially, advises Trump to change course without fear of retribution, and retains a bond that has outlasted Trump's many personal and financial crises. Barrack said he has often thought about how he has remained a close friend for 30 years with a man whose reputation is selfish and egotistical. "Here's what I think the answer is: I've never needed anything from him. I was always subservient to him." Barrack said that his life intersected with Trump at soft moments, such as discussions about their divorces and children. He was at Trump's side during the funeral of Trump's father, Fred. And they talked for a half hour about the weight of a hard dad, and the baton passing. As a result, Barrack said, he has seen within Trump a kind of compassion at a very lonely level. Donald Trump's closest friend, Thomas Barrack Jr., pictured back left with blue scarf at the presidential inauguration, tells Trump when he is wrong. Photo app. Out of that has developed a most unusual bond, which in turn has enabled Barrack to talk to Trump straight up, telling him when he disagrees. That has been surprisingly often. It is not always fun, and no, he doesn't come back and say, "By the way, your idea was right or brilliant," Barrack said. "It is shocking to me that he would talk that way because he is not that way," Thomas J. Barrack Jr. says of Trump's inflammatory statements about immigrants. Photo app. But Barrack can't be fired, even if his advice doesn't pan out, as has happened. Barrack believes that Trump suffers by having too many yes-men around him. The conclusion is surprising, given Trump's penchant for attacking anyone who disagrees with him. Thomas J. Barrack Jr., Photo Colony North Star. "No, he is very good at being told he is wrong," Barrack insisted when pressed on this point. "People don't have the courage to do it. He pushes back hard, but the people he respects the most are the people who have the most refined and not wimpy point of view." Barrack first came to national attention in 1982, as a Deputy Undersecretary to Interior Secretary James Watt, a controversial cabinet member in the Reagan administration who later announced his resignation while at Barrack's ranch. After leaving public office, he was hired by the wealthy Bass family of Texas in 1987 and received a phone call to come to Trump Tower to meet a rising star in New York real estate. Trump and Barrack began talking about the presidency as early as 1987, and the talk grew more serious in 1999. I used to tell him, people don't understand issues and themes, they understand candidates, and they look to see what is in the heart and character of the candidate, and you are great at that, Barrack said. When Trump announced his candidacy on June 16, 2015, Barrack was shocked by what he said. Trump said Mexico was sending rapists and other criminals to the United States, and said he would build a great wall that Mexico would pay for. Barrack thought to himself, oh my God, where are we going with this? What did he just say? Which I continue to say, by the way. It is shocking to me that he would talk that way, because he is not that way. Barrack said Mexico and the rest of Latin America needs kisses and hugs from the president, not divisive attacks. He suggests that Trump change his motto from Make America Great Again to a more continental theme of Make the Americas Great Again. Another stunning moment for Barrack came when Trump called in December 2015 for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States until authorities can figure out what the hell is going on. Barrack said Trump was trying to pressure Muslim-dominant countries to root out terrorists within their midst. Still, he said that Trump's ban is one of the things that hit me the hardest because it is the most complex. Barrack's ancestry fueled his concern. He had often visited Zala, the mountain city that his grandfather emigrated from in 1900. The area now houses strings of settlements of Syrian refugees, many of whom barely subsist. More than 1 million Syrians have taken shelter in the country of 6 million people. Barrack visited Zala in May 2016, as Trump's proposed Muslim ban continued to dominate campaign coverage. The president always viewed me as one of the few Arab American friends that he has, Barrack said. I'm telling him, look, Islam is the fastest growing religion in the world. You got 2 billion Muslims. If young Muslims can't find jobs, they may turn to terrorism, he told Trump. Days after Barrack returned from visiting the refugee settlements in Lebanon, he turned his attention to giving Trump's campaign financial help. Trump had first promised to finance his own campaign, but that vow was dropped, and Barrack brought in $7 million at a fundraising dinner at his palatial home in Santa Monica. Then, in June 2016, Barrack helped found a political action committee, Rebuilding America Now, which raised $23 million. After the election, Barrack served as chairman of Trump's inaugural committee, raising more than $100 million, nearly twice as much as former President Barack Obama's record 2009 haul of $53 million. Barrack sees it as logical that raising a lot of money could translate into a job offer, and that is what happened. Yeah, I raised the most money for him, Barrack said. The inauguration in itself was over $100 million that we had to raise from scratch. So of course he said, would you like Treasury? What would you like to do? Barrack said he told Trump he would prefer to be an outsider. Privately, he would be the low-profile Trump whisperer, and publicly, the Trump explainer. Washington Post.